Hello, beautiful beings of light. I've been getting so many questions asking me to respond and or expand on what I spoke of in the Glastonbury video from the United Kingdom when I was in Europe a few weeks ago with Oliver William Huntley, one of my dear soul brother, I mean, for many lifetimes. And I was speaking a bit about darkness, about malevolence, and how people often will say to me something to the effect of, oh, well, you've probably never been around darkness. Maybe that's why you feel that you're so open. And I'm going to clarify a few things here. First of all, growing up in the basically you could say cultic, sacrificial hotbed of southern New Jersey, which I'm so grateful for, living in the Pine Barrens and on the edge of the Pine Barrens, where, of course, we're the mob, the mafia. If you've ever seen The Sopranos, we're maiming, torturing, killing people, hanging them, etc. We had the ultimate cryptid, the Jersey Devil, although I understand the backstory of that now. We used to chase the Jersey Devil quite a bit. And just being in the Pines, and I'm going to do some upcoming videos communicating how powerful that was. But in the Pines, there, it makes me think of the song that Dolly Parton sings, the old folk song, in the pines, in the pines. All right, Dale, focus. So growing up in the Pines of New Jersey, it was an amazing experience for me because I was exposed to things like animal sacrifice and cults and things that I really can't explain on so many levels. And I'll make other videos about visitations that I experienced, but this one I wanted to focus in on that idea of malevolence, evil, darkness, etc. Specifically, we're going to talk about demons. And of course, we always hear that as an example. I have other videos about it, how Yeshua supposedly cast out 7 demons from Magdalene. Of course, the word 7 in Aramaic means essentially complete. That's the word Shabia, or Shabeah, is the word 7. Shadain, which is the word translated as demon, but it doesn't actually mean demon. It doesn't truly mean devil. It means force, or you could say spirit. But it means a particular type. So let's talk about that. And then apek is the word for cast out, and I talk about that a lot. So let me explain what a shadain is. It's funny that so many people working with Aramaic haven't traced the roots back far enough of what this root is, what this word is, shadain, to go beyond the theology, which is demon, devil, force, spirit. This is shadain in Aramaic. So here's basically the word translated as demon in what Yeshua cast out of Magdalene, okay? Nice, huh? So the word apek, what is apek? It means to throw something. I mean, you can say cast out, which is King Jamesy here. But this is what apek means in Aramaic. This is what it means to cast out a demon in the sense of what Yeshua did to Magdalene. So what does that mean? It means to stimulate the movement of. It means to open the flow, open the force. Okay? Now, intriguingly, I will say that people talk about these are the 7 deadly sins, not understanding that the 7 deadly sins aren't actually Bible-based completely. There's several different versions made up over several hundred years. Funny enough, gluttony, all that kind of stuff. If you look at the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, which was not allowed in the Bible, she names them as darkness, desire. Think of the bottom, darkness, desire, that's the second. Ignorance, coming from the gut. The exhilaration of death, what beats out of your chest as you face death. The foolish words of the realm, the foolish visions of the flesh, and hostility and wrath. Ooh, what is that? That is shadain being the quality that the chakras take on, the 7 primaries that we have, although people argue that we have different numbers within the body, not, of course, including the ones above and below. But they take on the exact opposite quality of that they have when they're open. Herein lies the key of demons and or evil and or malevolence. Funny that you think about like a waterfall. I live here in the Appalachian Mountains near Asheville. This is one of the spiritual epicenters of the world. Anybody who lives here understands that or has visited here. We've been here 20 years now. and you watch the water kind of roll down, or even just in a stream, and then you find the little eddies, the little whirlpools that go off to the side where they're not flowing out. And what'll start happening is it starts getting circular, and then dead matter starts accumulating in there, bugs start accumulating, and it starts sort of festering there. Well, that's what a demon is, okay? Let me explain it in a different way. First of all, and this is from Dr. Michael Rice, one of the most brilliant examples I've ever come across here, and it's so incredibly clear. Michael, and I've heard him say this, I don't know how many times, but let's say that you get a 1 square foot patch of grass on 2 different chunks of your lawn, okay, on any lawn, and it's nice, clean lawn, and you rope off a square foot here, and about 30 feet away, you rope off a square foot there. And then you take the account of the creepy crawlies, bugs, buzzards, beetles, ants, flies, gnats, whatever, and you get that count here, and then you do it there 30 feet away. If you do that, you're going to get pretty much the same reading, yes? Okay. Well, let's look at this. When we add in, let's say we take the carcass of a dead rabbit and drop it on this one right here. We put a dead rabbit there. What is the dead rabbit? It's the energy, the force that's not open in the system, in the haikla, which is the word Yeshua used for temple. Chaya is the word conscious life energy. I come to give you chaya and give it abundantly. So this is the embodiment, the gathering of conscious life energy. In the Egyptian, of course, this is the ka, the energy body. So let's say you drop the carcass of the dead rabbit there, leave it there at 98.6 degrees for 24 hours, okay? Now, do you think when you come back in 24 hours that with that dead carcass that was sitting there, do you think if you do the readings of the bugs, the buzzards, the creepy crawlies, etc., do you think it's going to be slightly elevated here versus 30 feet over there, 30 feet away, where there's no carcass? Of course it is. Well, what do we actually do? When we mistake what a demon is, we mistake the cleanup crew that shows up, the flies, the gnats that show up in the eddy, in the whirlpool. We mistake the cleanup crew as the cause. So what we do is we have these cordoned off, unacknowledged, unrealized energies in the system, and what happens is the cleanup crew shows up to feed on that, to clean up the mess. Now, of course, are the creepy crawlies, the viruses, the bacteria, are they really the cause? Or are they simply being attracted in by what's already dead? Not open, not flowing on some level. The word Jordan, the river Jordan, Yodanan in Aramaic literally means flowing. And where does the Jordan flow? Flows into the Dead Sea. Why is the Dead Sea dead? Because it's low enough that it has no outlet. It's not flowing. It's not open. Are you breathing? I'm going to make a lot more videos about these ideas of devils, demons. I needed to make this video, even though I've done a bazillion about this, and it's all over my work for the past 30 years. It's in my book. It's all over. I really needed to make this to set the tone for what's coming over the next few weeks and months and years, because these next 3 years, this is something we're going to have to understand. And I'm just going to be blunt, put on our big boy pants and our big girl panties and start realizing that all the new agey, what one would call Luciferian ideas, are going to come back and, let's just say, bite us in the ass, because there's nothing hidden which will not become known. And that's what's happening right now. We're literally pulling in, attracting in these forces of evil, malevolence, the forces that are breaking us down by us not being open, by the idea of protecting myself from something outside. But again, what then is the meaning of fighting against circumstances? This is James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. It's when one is continually revolting against an effect without all the while nourishing its cause in our hearts. Breathe into that. The power is always in your hands, and you always have choice. If somebody like Viktor Frankl can be chained to the floor and whipped within an inch of his life, watch his family die in a concentration camp, and still say that he choice was never taken from him because he always had his ability to think of how to use his mind, then I'd say pretty much anybody always has some kind of choice, even if on the physical level it seems like we don't. That's real high level awakening though, but we say this with clarity and love, you might want to realize that that's more imperative than ever in terms of human history in the coming years between now and 2025. You want to take care of what's right now in your domain rather than worrying about what's in other people's or what's outside of it, because the truth of the matter is there's nothing outside. I love you all so dearly. Stay tuned. I've got a lot of videos where people have been waiting for me to do this for years, and I was just waiting for the call, essentially, from higher up. And I keep saying it was coming, it was coming. Well, now it's time. So here it is. I love you all for tuning in. Go to my website, daleallenhoffman.com. Subscribe to my channel here on YouTube and or on Instagram, wherever you're seeing this video. And just keep watching and spread the word, because it's really time. I'm going to be showing you very specific tools of how to navigate the cosmic shift, as I call it. I love you all so dearly.